The ground will soon be frozen and snowy where I live. So it's a great time for me to reflect on what my garden taught me last season. And I'll take those takeaways and use them to help me plan for the new garden year. I am truly into my off season here now, and I think it's very important for me to take a break from the garden, to have that step away moment from your garden. And this is it for me right now. But one thing I do make sure I do is my big picture plan. So I've got 6 points that I look at this time of year for big picture garden planning. I pretty much look at the same things every year. What plants struggled? Is there anything I want to add to the garden layout? Anything I want to revise in what I grow? What needs crop rotation? And how's my soil doing? And more it's becoming important for me to know that my garden looks inviting. To me, to wildlife, to any visitors, hopefully showing colors and texture and health and flavors. What's that taste like? It's onion flavor. And I should add, though it's not on my list, it goes without saying for me, it's all about feeding us. So I'm going to sit on the couch and run through some of the points I've already jotted down as it pertains to my garden. Did anything struggle last season and why? So I've got vegetables here. An example would be beets and corn. My beets really struggled because I forgot my own gardening beliefs or methods for this location. And I gave them a bed all by themselves. They were not happy. I'll fix that. Interplanting retains moisture and water for me. And with the high winds, they're just so much happier if I mix. So I did not do well by them. Corn had some issues, but I actually had a little bit of success for corn, so I'm very excited about that. So it's not that they struggled. They struggled because I didn't set them up for the best success, and I will fix that this year. Why else could they have struggled? Did the soil need further amendment? I always have beds that can be better than others because I've run out of materials. I've run out of, the compost. I know those beds, and I definitely can see the difference in growth in the vegetables. But was the watering enough? Was there too much? Were some of your beds waterlogged? 2, do I want any changes to my garden layout? This is the time of year I always look at that. And I need help for some of those things, and that's where Bruce comes in, and my son have helped too. My son dug out a tiny little pit for me. That needs to be filled with some form of compost, soil, my mulch leaves, so I'll have to get on that. There's one more raised garden bed that Bruce has to complete. I'll need soil for that. There is a project he wants to work on. Bruce is carpenter by heart. He's always working on something. He's building me sort of a raised frame to put food grade buckets in, just to have some more gardening space, which will be set up, of course, with full sunlight. So the third thing, what have I got? I've jotted down some vegetables here again. Oh, this is to revise and review what I grew this season. So is there something that we just don't need, and it's just taking up space, that could be better served in cabbage for me? I'm still trying to grow good cabbage. I did much better, more success this year. I'll keep working on that, but I want more. Green onion sets I bought for the first time, the spring onions. I'd never done it from set before. I did it from seed, and it's hard for me. They struggle. They take a long time to grow here. But the sets were fantastic, and you get a bag of 100. I had more than enough, and I dried some, and I'm still using them. Absolutely loved it. Broccolini was a huge success for me this year. So much more than a regular broccoli or calabrese. And it just provided so much more food for us, so I will concentrate on that. Cucumbers I've written down because I actually grew some cucumbers this year. Yay! I did that by direct seeding instead of trying to start them indoors and so on. It was so much better. So I'm going to look at those and what I need to revise. And then there's some vegetables that we didn't need as much. So do I need to pull back on some and extend some other? I did really well with carrots. We got a lot of carrots this year, and that was a focus for the past season. The fourth thing, I've written down potatoes. Oh, do we need to crop rotate anything? It's an important piece of planning at this stage. It's difficult for me because those that I do rotate, which would be my alliums and my potatoes specifically, take up a big growing space. So it's sometimes hard for me to plan where on earth am I going to put them this season. So I actually think I'm going to keep my potatoes here. They didn't suffer from any scab or anything that worried me. I'm going to try another year in the bed that we had them for the first time. Maybe next year they'll go to another side of bed, and I've had them in my raised beds also. But that takes a lot of focus for me, because if I'm moving those potatoes to another area, that's wiping out so many vegetables. I have to figure out where they're going to go. The fifth, I always have to look at amending my soil each season. That's just a gimme for me. I'd like to add, 2 inches to all my beds. I do practice a no dig. I do that largely to save on money with our leaf mulch that we get for free, and sheep manure, and then some bagged soil mixtures. So what beds need a big focus with that? How much is it going to take? Where am I going to put it? How much do I have to get? That all needs to be done now. And actually today I'm really working on, with my son and husband's assistance, the spreading of the manure. Sixth is something I'm always striving for, and I have a long way to go. But is my garden inviting? Is it captivating? Is it tranquil? Is it a place I can't wait to get to? And does it beckon any creature who passes by? Yeah, that's all that I'm looking at here. Come January, I start looking at some other jobs. February more. Now I'm getting into seeds and planting and seed ordering and those things. They're the months to come. Right now, this peaceful time, I'm just looking at that big picture. Is everything in place? If it's not, what do I need to do so that I save myself time, money, effort come spring? So hopefully with all my planning, I'll have another successful year, providing a whole year of food for our family. And it's a really good feeling. Well, that's all for now. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.